Hey everybody, it's Mark Krejci and welcome to A Run Supreme Adventures in Ultra Running, where I am going to run the Natchez Trace Parkway starting this Saturday. It's 444 miles, and as far as I know, and I've confirmed with the state park or the National Park Office, I'll be the first person in history to ever do it. And I'm going to be doing it to raise money and awareness for an organization called First Generation. So what I thought I'd do before I kicked off the events this coming Saturday was just give an update on what the charity is. If you've been following me for a while, you may already know, but I wanted to inform you guys what the charity was. Tell you about the run, what I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to be doing it, and then also tell you about what's going to happen next year onward, because this is going to be a continuing event. So first off, I'm raising money for First Generation, which is a nonprofit that raises awareness for and solves issues for global justice issues all over, from human trafficking to child slavery to homelessness and clean water. And so they build curriculum that goes into schools and that different organizations can use. They have this community giving platform that's sort of this micro philanthropy where a collective group can give money away to solve these problems, and the organization kind of vets through the best of the best people doing that, which is really awesome. But then it really sort of dives down and tries to educate people on the issues by taking them, across the world or across your city to show you firsthand what the things are. And the organization is based off a quote by Bono that says, this isn't verbatim, but basically that we're the first generation in history that has the resources, the capability, technology to put an end to global poverty and injustice. And the only thing we don't have is the willpower, and that's not a reason that history will accept. So that's the sort of mission of that organization, First Generation, that we want to actually do. So we're going to get the framework around making it possible. So it's really cool. Dive into it. There's links on the website, racethetrace.com, for more information. But yeah, so the run is kicking off on Saturday. It's going to start in Natchez, Mississippi. So my wife and my boys and I are piling up in the car. We're going to drive all the way down south on the Natchez to Natchez, Mississippi at mile marker 0 and start working our way up north. Now, if you've been following me, the way the event started, and I had planned on for a long time, was just going to be, I was going to run it in one fell swoop in about 14 to 18 days, given circumstances. Well, things were up in flux for a while because I had to get a job and there was some different things going on in my life, so we've had to modify it a bit. So we're reversing the order. Originally we were going to start it in Nashville up here, but now what we're going to do is we're going to reverse it, and I'm only able to do it on the weekends, basically. So we're going to drive down every weekend, and I'm going to chunk out more and more mileage. So it'll take several weeks to do it, a couple weeks, but it'll just give more time for us to give the word out, to get people excited about it and tied in. And yeah, so if you are on the site, or if you've seen the site, racethetrace.com, what we're doing is we're allowing people to sponsor a mile. So mile number 1, you can sponsor for $1, mile 2 for $2, mile 3 for $3, mile 50 for $50, mile 444 right up there for $444. We're going to sell one mile to one person. And so if we raise enough money, if we sell every mile, we'll raise a good deal of money for that organization, and it'll be an amazing thing. So that's live now. So if you're watching this podcast when I post it, it's probably before the official press release has gone out. So you want to get in there and go ahead and sponsor a mile as soon as you can. Once it hits the presses, I'm sure there'll be a bunch of people getting in there. So we want as many people as we can doing that. So that's that. And then the third was next year. So this is going to be awesome. It's going to be the first time it's ever been done. We're going to work our way up over a couple weeks on the weekends. But next year, going forward, the event is going to happen again. Obviously, it's not a first ever at that point. We're going to make it a relay event. So it's going to be a relay race where we'll be able to corral the groups of runners together. So we get groups of 6 or 12. I think that's still being determined. But we'll do a relay race all the way down the Natchez, or we'll probably stage it where there's sort of like the Tennessee stage or a 50-mile stage or the whole thing. Obviously, to do the whole thing in a relay might take 4 or 5 days with a relay team, and with a if you want to do a shorter thing, obviously 4 or 5 days isn't work for everybody. So we'll have shorter distances where if you just want to do a relay for a 200-mile section, then we can do that in a weekend, which would be great. So stay tuned, stay plugged in with what we're doing. It's going to be an awesome event year after year. It's only going to grow. This is the launch, so I'm going to podcast all the way up from mile 0, way down there, to mile 444 up in Nashville. I'm going to record it. I'm going to try to share with you guys what's working, what's not. It's going to be fun. So I can't believe it's actually here. There's been a lot of dreaming kind of going into it, so I thank everybody that's been involved, helped put it together. So RaceTheTrace.com is starting on Saturday, just days away. I'm very excited, so thank you guys for plugging in. Please tell your friends about it. Please tweet it out. Sponsor a mile. We want to get as many miles as we can sponsored. If you sponsor a mile, we're going to put a link and a picture to whatever you want on the donor page. So on the donor page, you'll get an image and a link to whatever you want for your mile that you sponsored. Go to RaceTheTrace.com. You can see that there. So that's it for next time. Until then, I'll see you guys out on the roads and in the comments. And by the way, as an aside, as I'm coming up, if you live anywhere near, you want to jump on, you're following the post, come run with me. That'll be great. We would love to have you run with me. And I didn't mention, so this year too, in August, when I finished, end of July, August, we're going to do a 5-mile run from right here at the bridge all the way up to Loveless Cafe. It's 5 miles. So we'll do a community run. We're going to get everybody out here. It's going to be the very end of the event. So we'll run from here to Loveless, and we'll do breakfast with some biscuits or whatever. It's Loveless Cafe. It's a landmark. So watch out for that. Sign up for the email newsletter on RaceTheTrace.com. Be notified of when that's going to happen. It's going to be a great time. So, okay, for real. I'll see you guys on the roads and in the comments. Bye.
This podcast was produced on the go with Podcastio. Learn more information and sign up online at podcast.io.